comfortable position. If you're seated, try and allow yourself enough space to be able to breathe properly. Just making sure that I'm not leaning forward and compressing the abdomen, compressing the diaphragm. See if I can give myself a little bit more space to allow the diaphragm to expand and the belly to move. If I'm lying down, keeping the legs straight or bending the knees, whichever feels more comfortable for the lower back and the back of the hips. Allowing the body to settle. So noticing any difference between the right and the left side. Noticing how stiff, how heavy, how light the body feels. How even or uneven. Am I leaning to one side? Am I leaning to the other? And then once you've got a little bit of a better picture on how the body feels, so you can start to focusing on the breath, focusing on the belly. So I'm going to inhale, trying to breathe in through the nose, feeling the belly expanding with the inhalation. And then on the exhale, I'm just going to let everything relax. So I'm not forcing anything. I'm just trying to encourage that nice relaxed belly breath. So allowing the breath to drop down into the abdomen. Noticing any stiffness through the neck, any tension on the collarbones or across the front of the chest. See if I can try and let go of that tension. Let the chest relax, let the neck relax, the collarbone soften, the rib cage, the front of the chest, the front of the body to sink, to let go of any tension caused by the breath. And then as I feel the body's a little bit more settled, the breath feels a little bit more relaxed, and I'm just going to start moving from the head down. I'm going to try and bring the right ear down towards the right shoulder, left ear to the left shoulder. If you're lying down, keeping the head on the floor, so I'm not loading the weight of the head into the neck, I'm just dragging the head from one to the other side. If I'm standing up, see if you can try and maintain the head pointing forward. So imagine a pencil stuck to the tip of your nose. See if you can draw a little rainbow in front of you. So I'm not going to let the chin drop down to the chest. I'm not going to send the head to the side. I'm just dropping it gently from side to side. Each time, see if I can encourage a gentle stretch, a gentle traction coming down the side of the neck. One and the other way. Making sure that nothing seems to be pinching or catching in a bad way. Nothing is causing pain down the arms or any tingling into the fingertips. 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing the head back to the middle. And then from lateral flexion, I'm going to go into a little rotation. Sending the head to look over one shoulder, coming back, and then turning to look the other way. And then same as before, this time imagine the pencil to be strapped to the tip of the nose. See if you can try and draw a straight line that goes from one side of the room all the way over to the other side. Making sure that the nose doesn't drop to the floor, the chin doesn't tuck in, the head doesn't fall forward. Just a gentle rotation from side to side. And then especially if you're seated, as you're turning to look over one shoulder, see if you can notice, making sure that the shoulder is not moving. So I'm turning the head, but I'm not moving the shoulder. I'm turning the head the other way, but I'm not moving the shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, returning the head back to the middle, relaxing through the neck. I'm going to try and combine the two movements together. I'm going to go into a little lateral flexion and rotation. So this time I'm going to drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder. I'm going to hold the head to the side, and then I'm just going to turn. So with the tip of the nose, I'm going to turn as if I was trying to drop my nose to the shoulder or my chin to the shoulder, whichever way. As you're turning the head, see if you can notice that stretch, almost like a wrapping around the side of the neck. See if I can find the gentle pull. Nothing that is causing pain, but something that is just giving a little bit of a release to the neck. And then hold the neck there this time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back, returning the head back to the middle. Adjusting the shoulders if you need. Left ear to the left shoulder. Turning the head so that I'm trying to take the nose down to the shoulder. Or the chin down to the shoulder. Feeling that stretch wrapping around the neck more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back. Returning the head back to the middle, giving the shoulders a little wriggle, and then I'm going to change the direction of the movement. Now that the neck feels a little bit warmer, see if I can encourage a little flexion extension. So I'm going to tap the chin down towards the throat. If you're lying down, imagine to be pressing the back of your neck down into the floor. Then I'm going to lift the chin up. I'm going to try and look forward. I'm going to try and look up. I'm trying to look back. See if I can open up and stretch to the front of the throat. Then I'm going to ease back. I'm going to tuck the chin in, give myself a double chin. And then I'm going to lift up again, lengthening through the front of the neck. Easing back and then trying again. Play with the movement, making sure that nothing is causing pinching, especially as you go in extension, as you're trying to look up, as you're trying to look behind. Nothing is creating pain at the back of the neck. As you're looking behind, try different jaw position. So if I keep my mouth slightly open and I reach to the back, I can feel a little pull, but it's nothing much. If I try and keep my teeth closed, if I try and lock the teeth slightly, now the stretch suddenly becomes a lot stronger. So see if you can find that position that allows you to lengthen the front of the throat. It just gives you a little bit more space at the front. Just making sure that you're not grinding the teeth. I'm just closing my mouth to try to keep it closed as I lift and look behind. 3, 2, last one, and releasing back. So releasing the neck, it's a little bit more movement at front to back. 2, I'm going to try to see if I can encourage just a little bit more stretch. So I'm going to tuck the chin in, dropping the chin down to the chest. If you're lying down, you'll be lifting the head off the ground. So using the hands behind the head to offer a little support. And then from there, I'm just going to apply a gentle pressure. With the fingertips, I'm going to push down on the head. With the head, I'm trying to resist that pressure. So see if I can find the gentle traction that from the base of the skull, the base of the head, is going to come down the back of the neck, almost towards the middle of the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And easing the pressure, releasing back. Then working in reverse, I'm going to place an open fist under the chin. And then I'm just going to push with the fists up into the chin. And then with the chin, I'm going to resist that pressure at the same time. So I'm going to push up with the hands and push down with the head. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. And returning the head back to the middle. Exploring the range of movement to see if you can do a little side to side again and noticing if it feels a little bit freer, a little bit easier. it feels the same, or if it might feel worse. Once you feel that the head is a little bit, or the neck is better, the head is back to the middle, holding the head nice and still, and then this time I'm going to move the shoulders instead. If you're seated up, I want you to think of a little rotation as if I was trying to unscrew my torso off my hips. So I'm just going to get for a little side to side, crossing the arms onto the chest, using the arms for a little support to help me pull or push around. If I'm lying down, I'm going to get the arms out of the way, cross them onto the chest, and then I'm just going to gently rock from one side to the other. So from shoulder to shoulder, just a little rotation from side to side, following with the head. If I feel that that's making me feel a bit dizzy, I'm going to keep the head still, and then I'm just going to rock the shoulders one and then to the other side. And just noticing the movement, especially if you're lying down on the back, noticing how much you can lift one shoulder compared to the other side. If I'm seated up, noticing how easy it is to turn one way and how much stiffer it might be to go the other side. I'm not forcing anything, just to see if I can gently encourage. So imagine like a really rusty screw. I'm just trying to ease it gradually. I don't want to break it. I'm just trying to unscrew it gradually, see if you can gradually loosen it off a little bit more and a little bit more. Especially when sitting up, making sure that you're not shrugging the shoulders to the head, as the tendency is to start pulling them up to your ears, making sure that the shoulders are keeping down, nice and heavy. 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, returning back to the middle. We'll feel a little bit more movement into the upper back. I'm going to try and see if I can create a little bit more. So this time, if you're lying down on the back, I want you to bend the knees, just to give you a little reference point. If I'm sitting up, I'm just going to keep my seated position steady. With my right arm, I'm going to reach across, and then what I want, without lifting the head off the floor, I want my right hand to touch the outside of the left knee. Then I'm going to come back, and then with the left hand, I'm going to touch the outside of the right knee. Come back, reach across one way, come back, reach across the other. So see if you can think of a nice pull that is helping the shoulder to stay down and away, so it's helping me reach and cross to the other side. If you're lying down, you might find that getting to the knee is too far. So to get my hand onto the outside of the knee, I need to lift my head off the ground. I'm not lifting the head, I'm just rolling from one shoulder to the other, having the little arm pull. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. And then this time I want a little bit more opening, to encourage a little bit more opening. So if you're lying down, I want you to roll over onto your side, setting yourself up for an opening and closing doors. So I'm going to bend the knees, bring the legs slightly forward. Bottom arm, I'm going to reach it straight ahead, so I'm resting onto the very back of the shoulder. The head could be on the floor, or I'm just going to put a little jumper towel under the head to support it. And then from there, I'm going to go for a little bow and arrow. So imagine with the arm that is on the floor to be holding your bow. And then with the free arm to be shooting your arrow. So I'm going to grab hold of the string. I'm going to pull it back, let the arrow go, and then I'm going to pull the next one and let it go again. If you're seated up, exactly the same movement. So I'm just going to grab hold of my bow with one arm, and then with the other I'm just going to pull the string back. See if this time I can think of opening up through the chest. And then I'm going to release, and then I'm going to pull my string again, and release, and then pull my string again. Especially if you're seated up, think of shooting the arrow straight ahead, not to the floor. So making sure that it doesn't feel as if I'm dropping and hunching forward. I'm still trying to sit up tall, and the shoulder is down, the chest is lifted as I pull the string of my bow back. Then release, and then pulling again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. I'm going to repeat the same thing to the other side. So if you're lying down, I want you to switch over to the other side. Setting the same position, reaching through with the bottom arm until you're resting onto the back of the shoulder. The head supported if you need that support. And then top arm, I'm going to grab hold of the string, and then I'm just going to pull it back as if I can shoot my arrow on this side. Come back, and then I'm going to pull back again. So think of a nice tension right into the middle of the shoulder blades, right into the middle of the back. So as I pull back, I can feel the shoulder retracting. I can feel a nice squeeze at the back of the shoulder, but there is nothing into the neck. Then I'm going to let go, and then I'm going to open up at the front and squeeze together at the back and release. 5, 4, 3, finding the breath that works for you. 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the upper back. Just a little bit more movement at the top. I'm going to try and see if I can get a little bit more movement, but working from the bottom of the spine, so it's trying to get into the lower back. I'm going to start off with a little hip hitch. So keeping the knees bent if you're lying down on the back, I'm going to hitch my right hip towards the right side of the rib cage. If I'm seated up, I'm trying to lift my right bum cheek off the chair. Then come back, and then I'm going to try and hitch the left hip and up towards the rib cage. So I'm going to try and lift the left bum cheek off the chair. So I'm going to pull up on the right, pull up on the left, pull up on the right, pull up on the left. If you're lying down, the hips are still sitting on the mat, so I'm not lifting them, I'm not rotating, I'm just hitching up and down. So you can notice the tension into the side of the belly. The side of the belly contracts, so the hips go up. The side of the belly contracts, so the hips go up the other way. And then on one side, I might be able to lift my seatbelt off the chair. On the other side, it feels really heavy. It feels impossible to do so. I'm just going to try and do my best. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back, resetting the hips back to the middle. And then from a little hip hitch, I'm going to go into a little pelvic tilt. So this time I'm going to move both sides of the pelvis together. I'm going to tilt the pelvis back. I'm going to roll back onto my tailbone. And then I'm going to come forward up tall onto my seat bones. So I'm going to tilt the pelvis, so roll back onto the tailbone, and then forward onto the seat bones. So see if I can create a little tilt from the very bottom of the spine. Gentle rocking forward and back over the seat bones. Using the arms to help me pushing or pulling. If I've got a desk or something in front of me, I can pull on, I can hold on. See if I can encourage the flexion as well as the extension, the lift. If I'm lying down on the mat, I'm just using the mat to guide the movement. So see if I can get that gentle rocking forward and back. 5, 4, 3, one, and releasing back, or releasing the hips, or resetting the hips at the back if you need to do so. And then we're going to move on to the shoulders and upper body. I want to do a little opening onto the chest. Again, so if you're lying down, raising the arms to the ceiling. If I'm sitting up, I'm just going to bring the arms in front of me. They don't need to be very high, about shoulder height or maybe a little bit lower. I'm going to take a deep breath in as I breathe out. I'm going to open the arms out nice and wide. So see if I can encourage that nice opening across the front of the chest. So with my right hand, I'm going to try and touch the right side of the room. With my left hand to the left side. I'm going to ease my way back to the middle. And then I'm going to open up again. I'm going to come back to the middle and then open up again. If I'm seated up, obviously there is no floor, there is nothing behind me preventing me from going further than to the side. I might even be able to push the arms slightly behind. As far as there is no pain on the shoulder or stiffness into the neck, see if I can create a nice opening and then closing back. A nice opening and then closing back. And then as you keep the opening and closing going, it doesn't matter if you're sitting or lying down, see if you can almost like exaggerate that movement. So to encourage that opening, as the arms open up, can I push the chest forward? Can I try and extend my way? And then I'm going to close and come down, and then again pushing the chest forward, opening up, and then closing and coming back. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back. We're giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, releasing the shoulders middle of the back. I'm going to allow the arms a little rest, and then I'm going to focus on the hips, on the legs. I want a similar thing from the legs. So I'm going to shuffle the feet and the knees nice and close together. And then it doesn't matter if I'm seated or lying down. I'm going to let the knees open out as wide as I can. I'm going to push them down into the floor, trying to get a little bit of a stretch through the inner thighs. And then I'm going to squeeze them back in, squeeze them back together. If I'm sitting, gravity is not working with you, unfortunately. So I might need to use my hands. So I can't open more than this. So what happens if I give it a little push? Can I get the legs to go a little bit further away? And then I'm going to squeeze them back in again. And then I might find that in one direction I'm fine, so I can open, but then I'm struggling to close. I'm just going to use my hands to give me a little help. And then I'm going to try that again. It might be the reverse. I might find that I'm struggling to open. I feel really stiff through the adductors at the inside of the legs. So I'm just going to give a little push to encourage, and then I'm just going to squeeze back in again. So see if I can encourage movement into the hip joint. So allowing the leg to move into the hip joint, allowing the hip to warm up, and at the same time, see if I can get almost like passive stretch down the inside of the legs every time that the knees pull away from each other, and then I'm going to bring them back in, bring them back together. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the inner thighs, releasing the hips, releasing the legs. Just a little bit more movement through the hips. I'm going to go back onto the shoulder. I'm going to change the direction of the movement. I'm going to start going into a little lateral raise or a side swing. So I'm going to start opening one arm around the side. I'm going to bring it towards the head, and then I'm going to swing it around, and then back in towards the hips. And we have that with the other arm. I'm going to do the same, round the side and towards the head, and then I'm going to bring it back by the side of the hips. So I'm going to open up and lift one, come back, and then I'm going to open up and lift to the other, and then coming back. And then same as usual, especially if you're seated, but also if you're lying down. If I keep the arm completely to the side, I feel that my shoulder is catching, is pinching, is painful. I'm just going to allow the arm to come slightly forward to that body line. I can still get into the swing, but avoiding that pinch, avoiding that pain in the shoulder. With one arm I can lift easily, with the other one I feel I'm struggling a little bit. I'm just going to keep the movement to smaller on that side. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. And releasing back. Releasing the shoulders, releasing the upper back. This is a little bit more movement into the shoulder. I'm going to go back into the leg. Same as I did for the shoulder, I'm going to change the direction of the movement. This time, think of your right leg only. Instead of going out to the side, I'm going to try and lift it up and towards me. So I'm just going to try and pull up on the right leg and then ease down. Pull up on the right leg and ease down. Same as usual, if you know that the leg is a bit temperamental, so it doesn't behave very well, very stiff, it doesn't like the lifting, I'm just going to use the strap around the back of the leg, or I'm just going to use my hands around the back of the leg. So offering a little support to using the arms, the same as before. So you can think of moving the hip joint, this time instead of moving into abduction, adduction, so opening and closing, this time see if I can think of lifting and lowering. So see if I can try and picture the head of the femur, the top of the leg, moving into the hip socket, to see if I can picture every time that movement happens, that stiffness, that locking, all that layers that have created to keep the hip locked in that position. I'm just breaking through them. See if I can try and ease a little bit more and a little bit more each time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back, relaxing the right hip with the right leg. I'm going to repeat the same thing with the left side. So switching the band around to the back of the left leg if I feel that I need a band, using the hands if that's easier, especially if I'm sitting up, as it's quite easy to hold onto the leg. And then same as on the other side, I'm going to try and encourage that little up and down. It doesn't matter if I can't lift the foot off, but see if I can try and encourage some movement into the hip. So I want that little up and down again. So imagine to be clean inside the hip joint. Every time that the leg moves, one of the layers of goo and stuff that's created to lock my hip into that position, I'm just breaking through them, encouraging a better movement into the hip joint, encouraging a looser movement into the hip joint. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out. Releasing back, releasing the hip, releasing the leg. I'm going to go back into the upper body again. This time, see if I can combine a little bit of a back movement with shoulder movement too. I'm going to raise the right hand and then I'm just going to tap the top of the head. Then I'm going to ease back, I'm going to lift with the left hand and then tap the top of the head. Come back, so right hand to the top, come back, left hand to the top, come back, right to the top, come back, left to the top and come back. So just a little tap to the very top of the head, see if I can notice any difference. I might find that one arm almost like pointing forward, the other arm is opening quite easily to the side, one arm feels as if it's really heavy, the other one feels really light. So I'm using it for the hip joint to see if you can think of the shoulder joint moving. So see if I can try and move one and then move the other. I'm going to try 4, 3, 2, 1. And then easing back. A little rest there. I'm going to try again. This time, if possible, I want you to try and tap with both hands at the same time. So instead of doing one hand, I'm going to take both hands, tap the top of the head, and then come back. Both hands, tapping the top of the head, and come back. And then as you get the tapping going, same as we practiced before, see if you can encourage a slight extension. So as I touch the top of the head, can I try and stick the chest forward? Can I encourage that extension, that lift at the front? So can I open up a little bit wider and then ease back? Open up a little bit wider and ease back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back. Releasing the shoulders and releasing the back. Again, it's a little bit more movement. At the top, I want to get a little bit more connection into the legs again. I've got a good connection in and out and to the front. What I want is create a little bit more connection at the back, into the hip, into the bum. So I'm just going to start off with a little pressure. So I'm going to push down with the right foot and then ease back. Push down with the left foot and ease back. So if you're sitting, as you push down, imagine almost that action to lift off the chair. So I'm going to push down on that left foot as if I was trying to lift off the chair. Push down on the right as if I was trying to lift off the chair. If I'm lying down, see if you can be aware of the tension connecting the back of the leg to the back of the bum. So I'm going to push down the right leg. I can feel all of the back of the leg activated. Then relax. All of the other leg, right, and then left, right, and then left. And then once I feel that I can feel that connection, I can feel that the muscles are tensing, there is no actual movement, but I can feel that tension. Once you've got control of that tension, see if you can start pushing with both legs at the same time, and then easing back. Pushing with both legs and easing back. And then if I feel that that pressure feels quite steady over the leg, see if I can start lifting. So if I'm lying down, I'm going to push my way up into bridge. So raising the hips, lifting up as high as I can. And then I'm just going to ease my way all the way back down. If I'm sitting on the chair, see if you can try and push down through both feet. And then imagine your seat bones to lift off the chair. So I'm just going to come forward. I'm going to try and lift them up and then easing back. Again, I might not be able to lift completely, but see if you can think of that action of lifting up. So I can feel all of the back of the leg, the back of the bum, trying to give you the little push to get up and to lift off. Using the arms to help, so I can use them by the side of the chair to give me a little push. I can use them at the front to give me a little pull. I can even swing them slightly to see if I can encourage that movement. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back. Releasing the hips, so releasing the legs, just a little bit more connection into the back of the leg too. I want a little bit more connection into the front of the belly this time. So if you're seated up, I'm just going to lean my hands either onto the handle, if there are some handles for the chair, or armrests, or the bottom of the chair, so I can kind of like lean back and push down onto the chair. And then I'm going to start rolling up onto the ball of the feet, trying to see if I can come up onto the toes. So see if you can think of a strong tension coming from the belly. I'm trying to pull both feet off the ground. So strong connection at the front, See if I can get that lift, and then I'm just going to drop back. If you're lying down, we're going to be working in reverse. Instead of trying to pull the feet off the ground, I'm going to pull the upper body. So I'm going to use the hands to the back of the head, and then tilting the chin, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders. I think of the pull coming from the top of the belly, trying to pull you down towards the hips or towards the legs. And then I'm just going to ease my way back. 2, making sure that you're not pulling with the head. The weight of the head is resting on the hands. There is no stiffening or tensing into the neck. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. And release it down. If you're lying down, extending the legs away, extending the arms away, allowing the front of the body to stretch out and to open up. If you're sitting up, allowing the front of the belly, the front of the hips to have a little rest, to relax. Then when you're ready, bring the arms back by the side, rolling over onto your side. And in your own time, pushing yourself all the way up into sitting. Finding a comfortable position for the legs. Just making sure that I can sit up, but my hip flexors, the front of the hips are not crumping out. Using the arms at the back maybe to give a little support if you need to. And then from there, see if I can go for a little extension into flexion. So I'm going to try and roll the hips forward, coming up onto the seat bones, pushing the chest forward. I'm going to look forward, I'm going to look up, I'm going to look back, opening up the front of the body. Then I'm going to release, letting the chin drop down to the chest and the shoulders come forward. And then I'm going to close the front, open the back of the body, allowing myself to go forward as far as I feel comfortable. Dropping and curling back up again. Extending your way through, lifting through the chest, open up, looking forward, looking up, looking back, and releasing, coming forward, rounding the shoulders, rocking the head as far down as you feel comfortable, as you feel you can, and then all the way back. One more time, opening up, try to make the front of the body as wide, as big as you possibly can. Looking forward, looking up, looking back. And releasing, coming forward. One hand to the belly, one hand to the back. Take your bow, give yourself a